So you gave a very honest interview after the Crusaders game about the team's performance and said it was as poor a performance as you've seen in your time here. Have you been able to kind of pinpoint what went wrong last Saturday or what was different?
Well, I'd reiterate that it was definitely probably the poorest performance we've had in my time here. Can I put my finger on it? Not exactly. Probably multiple reasons, but it's one of those things that we have to recover from and move on. And we've trained well this week, no doubt about that, and the players are definitely ready for the Derby game tomorrow night.
And speaking of that recovery, then in the press this week, one article said the Glens resemble a runner in a 100 metres hurdles race. They struggle, hurdle and stumble. Will they now simply coast to the finish line or quickly recover and pick up speed again? How do you pick up the team after sort of the disappointment of the weekend?
Yeah, it's the same as we do every week. I mean, there's no run to change a lot of things and do a lot more and panic. I mean, we lost a game of football. I find it strange that apparently we have a club in turmoil after we lost a game. Never heard anything more ridiculous in my life. A week ago we beat Carrick, whatever the score was, and we're delighted, and 1 week later we lose 4-0 and now the players are not playing for their shirt. They're a disgrace. I find that ridiculous. So we'll keep going. Our players are committed to playing for Glentoran. They've shown that over 99.9% of this season, and for the few to come out and slaughter the players, slaughter the club, I find it ridiculous after a performance in one game. Yes, it was 4-0. Are we disappointed? Yes. Was it a performance that we expected? No. Does it mean we've turned into a bad team? Absolutely not. Ludicrous. We prepare like we prepare for every game. We play the game Friday night as best we can. We win, we lose. That's football. But we'll keep moving forward.
And looking ahead to that game, if we look at form over the last 5 games, Linfield come into the game in the best form in the league. But in the big two, and the history around that, everything that goes with it, is it a game where form maybe doesn't count as much?
Yes, I would say so. Derby game, I've been in a few of them since my last, this is the 3rd season, and they've been some cracking games, and you never really can tell which way they'll go. We've played in a couple of them where we've went to 10 men and 9 men, and they've been hard games. Come out with draws in both those games, which we wouldn't expect. We've won a few, we've lost a couple, and we've drawn a couple. So they've been great battles, and it's a credit to both teams. Look, it's always a hard-fought game. I think form does go out the window a little bit in a Derby game, but yes, they're in good form. They've picked up results when people expected them not to. They've got some late results, which again, credit to their resilience in continuing to fight for 95 minutes. But we're also a good team, and we're ready for the game.
And we've played them 3 times this season already. We've drawn 1, lost 1 and won 1. Do you learn much from those previous 3 games to take into this game? Are you constantly learning as you play them, or is it a case of...
Yeah, you're predicting their lineup. You're predicting their lineup based on their recent form, their lineup when you played them the last time. And if we look at that, they've lined up different ways against us. You have to take into consideration who they have healthy. I know potentially one of their players went off injured against Cliftonville, so that changes things. But tactical systems change, but the way you go about the game doesn't really. How do they press? What areas of the pitch do they try and play in? How do they defend? Those things don't really change that much. The tactical setup might, but we know what to expect from them. They'll know what to expect from us, and we go into it. Both teams, I think, are up for a good game.